on the corner, got them shades on my eyes. It's a pretty little thing by my side that's flawless. Why you niggas still chasing roaches? Collecting all this money on the roads like I'm homeless. A nigga like me.
Welcome back. This is Nicardo Media House, and today is the review show of the Reggae Boyz 23-man squad that got released yesterday. I'm gonna give my honest thoughts, what I think about the squad. So you're gonna hear everything I have to say about the squad, going forward, stuff. What is the weak point and the strong point of the squad? Players that shouldn't be in and players that should have been in the squad. But yeah, the squad came out yesterday on the JFF official Instagram page and the website, and the squad is, as most people probably saw it, but I'm gonna go over it and name the squad. Andre Blake from Philadelphia Union, Jamal Wade from Pitts Rover Hounds in America, that's his USL, and Konya Boys Clark, he played for Reading in the English Championship. Amari Bell, that's in the Championship of England. He just got promoted to the Premier League. Ethan Pinnock, is from Brentford. Deshaun Bernard, he just got released from Manchester United. Adrian Mariappa, he played for Salford in English Division League 2. And it's Dexter Lambiska, he's from Wolves in the Premier League. Damian Lowe is from Philadelphia Union. Javian Brown, he's from Vancouver Whitecap in the MLS. Kemon Lawrence is from Minnesota United in the MLS. Kevon Lambert is from Phoenix Rising in the USL. Jonathan Russell is from Barnsley. Joel Latibadier, is from Swansea. Bobby Reed, Fulham. Daniel Johnson, Preston North End. Kaim Paris from Dynamo Kiev in Russia, and Mikel Antonio from West Ham United. Shamar Boza-Nicholson is from Spartak Moscow in Russian Premier League, and Leon Bailey is from Aston Villa. Corey Burke is from the New York Red Bull, and Dujan Whisper Richards from the Phoenix Academy in Jamaica. And the big one is Damarai Gray from Everton. Just got his stuff ready to play in the Gold Cup. So I have two players that I don't think they should have been in the squad, but they got named. That's the coach decision. I can't fight that. But first, I'm gonna start off with the defender, Ethan Pinnock. Ethan Pinnock is going through a few family issues. His wife just gave birth. There's complication there. So Ethan Pinnock is not going to play the first game for Jamaica against America on Saturday. A family reason. Once it comes to family and stuff like that, birth, complication, players gonna always get the go ahead, to make sure the family is okay. So Ethan Pinnock is still in England. So yeah, that's a pass. And the another one is Damian Lowe. Damian Lowe is struggling with a little muscle injury. I'm not sure if he's fully 100% recovered from that as yet, but he got named in the squad, but I think he will play it on Saturday. And Adrian Mariappa, the legendary defender for us, he always showed up whatever they call on him, so that goes off to him. He's a leader in the squad. So yeah, Adrian Mariappa got named. So in this Reggae Boyz squad, we had 5 players that played in the Premier League, English Premier League, last season. I don't think that ever happened in a Jamaica Gold Cup squad before. Bobby Reed, Ethan Pinnock, Leon Bailey, Damarai Gray, and Mikel Antonio. The another one that gonna play in the Premier League, just got promoted, is Amari Bell. Luton Town is in the Premier League. But yeah, that I wouldn't say it's 6, but he haven't made an appearance there, but he will make that appearance on August. But this squad is really very, very good squad. I really like it. But there's two players that I don't think should have been in the squad. One, Kevin Lambert from Phoenix Rising Sun. This is a CDM, someone that played in the midfield area. He's he's one of, like, I would say, Theodore Tapper with more troops that was in the squad previously under different coaches. I think I think he got selected a few times under Paul All regime, but I don't think we need to go back to players like Kevin Lambert and Corey Burke. Like, Corey Burke is a player that, he's he's a player that will run, you know, give a lot of energy, but I don't think the quality is there, like the finishing and the end product. Corey Burke is what, 33 years old now. I think we should have moved on with these players. We have better players. I think, you have players that, like, Ronaldo Cephas, a player that just got contracted like a season ago out of Arnett Garden team. But Corey Burke, I think we should have give a younger player something, like a younger player who can build, who can grow the squad. But Corey Burke, man. But I tell you something though, why most coaches like Corey Burke. Corey Burke is a player that will press, he will run. Most coaches like players that will give you a lot of energy over quality. I have experience in that. During my playing time, coaches select me over players that I knew were better than me at the time, but because I can do a lot of hard work and run off the ball, and I was just a fit player, back in that time. And the other players that I got selected over, it wasn't really up to standard, but when it comes to quality wise, these players were really good. But I got selected. But as you know, all these international coaches, they really like player that, could give them a lot of energy, press. Michael Antonio is one, but I think Michael Antonio have more end product than a Corey Burke. But those two players, I think, we shouldn't be inclusion of the squad, but the coach picked them, and we're gonna have to work with them, and we're gonna have to see them in the squad. If they get a game, we're gonna have to support them. But I don't think those players really deserve. Kevin Lambert is a bit younger, but players like this, you don't want midfielder to be passing the ball box to box. Like, they pass the ball square, like side on pass. You want midfielder would give you penetration, and I don't think Kevin Lambert is a good CDM defender. But I think back in his playing time, when I think he was playing for Mobile United at that time, when we went to the Gold Cup final. I think it was under Theodore Whitmore 2017. I think he was in the squad at that time as a youngster. He was a breakout star. He got a contract in the US, but I think you don't have the quality to match the other players. Who's gonna come up against it. But let's see how that one's work out. But so yeah, so the strongest area in this Reggae Boy squad, obviously, is the attacking position. Shamar Nicholson, Michael Antonio, Damarai Gray, Bobby Reed, Leon Bailey. I think if we can pick the right attacking players and with a decent system that suit everyone, I think these players, would hard, you know, to stop, especially giving Leon Bailey the ball, isolate him 1-on-1 with the defender, Damarai Gray on the left, isolate him 1v1 with defenders. Defenders don't really like that. So we have a lot of qualities and up front. In during this squad, as I said, a lot of players up front that don't scared to go at players 1v1. Previous, we don't really have much players that will go 1v1, don't scared to just run at defenders. But I think the attacking players, that's the key areas, that's the strongest area in the squad. I think for this under 23-man squad for the Reggae Boys, but I would say the weakest point of our squad is the defensive area. You know, as I said before, Ethan Pinnock. We don't sure if he's going to play the second game or the third game, but we definitely know that he's not going to play on Saturday coming. As he planned to stay back in England with his wife. Complication, birth. So yeah, but we're gonna have to I would say put a band-aid over those in the so yeah, as I was saying, the the weakest area of this Reggae Boys 23-man squad is the two center back, because one, Damian Lowe is coming off injured. Ethan Pinnock, is still in England with his wife. She gave birth and complication and stuff there, so family come first. And the defensive area of the midfield, I don't think we generally gonna be solid in those areas coming into the US game. But I think Coach Al Grimson gonna have to put a band-aid over it and try to patch those areas. But I know Damian Lowe gonna play. Damian Lowe is a real warrior. He's a soldier. He was injured a couple weeks ago, and he was trying to recover for the Gold Cup, and we had a couple friendlies back in Austria. He told the coach, "Yo, I want to play." The coach said, "Hey, just stay back and trying to recover 100% from your injury." That's a player he is. He will fight. He will fight for the crest, the Jamaican flag. So you have to give players like that thumbs up. But it's gonna be a little bit of headache picking that back four, especially the two center back, cause muscle injuries, you don't really play with type of injuries like that. But Mariapa is there. Joel Latibadier, the plays for Swansea, he could play right back, center back. He could play left back. He could play in the midfield area. So we had a little bit cover, but Ethan Pinnock is one of the best center back, in the squad. Or people would say he's the best center back. He's playing at the high level at Brentford. So in the Premier League. So we always gonna need that experience in the back. But yeah, Coach Al Grinson, since he took over the Reggae Boys team in September of 2022, he has been on a poor run of form until now. He managed his first game where they played Argentina in New York. They lost 3-0. They played Cameroon in a friendly. They lost 1-0. They played Trinidad and Tobago twice in Jamaica. One game played in Montego Bay, where we lost that game 1-0, and we played them again a couple of days after in the office in Kingston, where we drew 0-0, and we played Mexico in the Nation League, a game that we supposed to win so we could go on and advance in the Nation League semifinal, but unfortunately we drew that game 2-2. And we played Qatar in Austria. That game is a couple of days ago. We lost that game 2-1. We played Jordan yesterday. We lost that game 2-1. So he haven't won a game since took over with the Reggae Boys team. But as I said before, going into this Gold Cup tournament, it's going to be key for him to try to get a lot of positive result. As you see, most fans back home in Kingston is already calling for his head, say, yeah. So the coach, he haven't won a game since took over, but I still taking it to a positive note. He can get the results in this Gold Cup. But moving forward, my surprise inclusion in this team was the 17-year-old Dujan Whisper Richards. He's from Phoenix Academy. I just want to say, I just want to shout out to his parents, especially his dad. His dad is stand by him. Yeah, so I wanna talk about this surprising inclusion in the squad. Dojan Whisper Richardson, he played for Phoenix Academy in Jamaica. That's Craig Butler Academy. But I want to just, give his parents, especially his dad, the praise that they deserve. He makes sure that, his son's trained, make sure his son had the right guidance. It's just like similar to what my dad did to me when I was playing, give me all the support, bring me to training, watch all my games, motivate me. He's the first one to criticize me and he's the first one to give me love and everything. But I just want to give thanks to Mr. Richards, that's Dojan Rispa father. You know, he's a good father and I wish, most father could do the same, help your son or your daughter, whatever they're doing in life, because you never know what's gonna happen. And you see, most people in Jamaica was saying that this kid, he's not good enough. He played one season of the Manning Cup. I think he should play one season in the Premier League. But you see, a couple months ago, the kid signed for Chelsea, so that shows a lot. And a few months ago, I think it was 5, 6 months ago, they didn't name it into the under 20 World Cup qualifying squad for the Reggae Boyz. At the time he was the best 16-year-old in on the island. But such is life. Sometimes you got to do it the hard way and let all the doubters see that, hey, I can do it. But kudos for him. He got named in the squad. So let's see. I think he's gonna be a fantastic player for us moving forward with the Reggae Boyz team. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this about Craig Butler. He's someone that I came up against when I used to play youth football in Jamaica. He's a very good coach. He's aggressive. You know, he gives you tough love. He motivates you the hard way. You know, he's someone that likes to build kids, and as you can see, he made progress through with Leon Bailey and stuff like that. And there's other kids. He bring kids all over in Europe, get them on trials, get them contract. You have over 10 players, probably 15 players overseas that on professional contracts. So he's doing a wonderful job in the country and continue doing your work, sir. To develop young Jamaican players, so we can get a next Leon Bailey, uh, Dojan Whisper Richards. So yeah, kudos to that. But yeah, last point, I'm gonna give my honest starting 11 that I think the coach should play. And first, I'm gonna go with a 4-4-2 formation. So I'm gonna go with Blake in the goal, Dexter at right back, Damien Lowe at center back, and we had this player from Swansea, Joel Latiba there. As I said before, he's a very versatile player. He could play in the defense anywhere in the back four, and he could play central defensive midfield. And so I'm gonna put Joel Latiba there. He's not really a big guy. He's like probably 5'11", 6 foot. So I still would stuck him there with Damien Lowe in the center back and Amari Bell at left back. So my assessment on both fullback, these two fullback, they don't really give you much going forward. But when you're gonna have players like Leon Bailey, Damarai Gray, Whisper, you're gonna always want your fullbacks to go overlap so these players can create spaces for these guys to cut inside. But yeah, I will go. That's my back four, and I will go. The two men in the midfield is DJ, that's Daniel Johnson, and JR, that's Jonathan Russell. On the left side is Bobby Reed, my namesake, and Leon Bailey on the right. So how will this play? How would I want this to play is Bobby Reed gonna play like a left inverted winger, so he will more come in and trying to give that double two that those two guys in the midfield, DJ and JR, like a little extra help. So they got three men in the middle, and Leon Bailey gonna, you know, he gonna stay out there on the right and give his support back to Dexter, who's playing right back. But my front two will be Michael Antonio and Shamar Nichols. The reason for that, I want to play two powerful guys up front. You know, as the US team, they're not that physical in the back, so you want to play two guys that really, really good in the air. You know, Michael Antonio is like a bulldozer moving forward. You know, Shamar Nichols is more kind of refined, but he still will give you that dirty job up front. You know, he's powerful in the air, but my assessment on Shamar Nichols, bro, listen, you have to finish your chances. When you get your chance, that's the only problem I have with Shaman Nichols. You know, he want like 4 or 5 chances to finish a goal. Coming up against the US, brethren, when you get your first chance, you have to score. You know, Michael Antonio, you see that goal that he scored against the US at the office in the World Cup qualifier. You know, he struck that ball from like 30 yards out. So Shaman Nichols just scored something similar to that on the US. So these two strikers, they already scored on the US. Shaman Nichols did it in a friendly, I think it was back in 2019, and Michael Antonio did that last year in the World Cup qualifier. So that's my prediction on the starting 11, how I want the team to play: a 4-4-2, two guys up front, Bobby Reed on the left, you know, players on the left inverted winger, give the two men in the middle support, and Leon Bailey on the right. So yeah, you know, I'm hoping for a positive result, you know, as this US team, they're playing really, really good football. But yeah, I don't know. But as I said in my previous video, my prediction that the US gonna win the game 3-1. I hopefully not, but that's how I see it. But you know, thanks for watching. You know, this is the Nicardo Media House, and thanks for supporting the video. I really appreciate everyone. You know, peace out. Thank you.
In the city life, I'm feeling so alive. Drifting around the corner, got them shades on my eyes. It's a pretty little thing by my side that's flawless. Why you niggas still chasing roaches?